welcome back to the channel. I'm Rochelle, this is Dexter, and this is Brampton Gardener. In today's episode, we are going to be doing our July garden tour. We are going to be doing the tour only of the backyard today, and that is because the front yard is under construction. But 2 of the 3 planters are doing really well, so I will show you the planters real quick. Okay, so this planter, hopefully by the end of the season, we'll see some growth on it. I've had to prune off a lot of the leaves off of these, so there's a lot of new fresh leaves coming up back here. So hopefully we'll see something on these cannas soon, but they've just had so much wind damage here. This is actually doing pretty good. Petunias are starting to fill in. Like last year I had way too many, and then this year I feel like I didn't put in enough. I could have put in one more petunia back there, I think, but it'll fill in. It's not terrible. Okay, so this one, yeah, I think it's looking really pretty. It's filling in. These begonias are doing their thing. These impatiens, these are ones I grew from seed. I'm gonna have to collect seed off of them again. They're doing really nice. The caladium is finally coming back. She had a bit of a bad go with some of those storms, but she's filling out. And then that coleus I think is looking nice. It's giving us some height in the back. It's got these like pink splotches on it. It's pretty cool. So I'm happy with this planter. It's gonna get fuller and fuller, and it's gonna look amazing by the end of the season. It's actually doing really well as well. So the coleus has gotten quite large up there. The lobelia is doing its thing. Everything's coming out. And I have a vine over here that's a black-eyed Susan vine. I'm really hoping to see it do something. I wanted it to kind of climb along the spout. So let's come up closer. So if you recall, let's see, it's like the sun is right there. So if you recall, these are my amaryllis. I'm gonna have to take this one off, I think, soon. It's kind of getting annoying. These are my amaryllis from Christmas. So I don't really plan on seeing them bloom at all, but they are giving us a nice texture and drama. They're doing fine, but the whole front garden, I ripped it out and it's under construction, so that will be a completely separate video. So for now, we're just doing the backyard. So over here, I have my hot garden, as we have always called it. So I have several containers up here on the deck. This amaranth has gone insane. So I have the amaranth, I have the calla lilies, this is the alyssum from my backyard, petunias. Over here I have my stevia. All right, so back to these containers. This amaranth is enormous. So funny story, this amaranth and this amaranth were planted at the same time. And they were about the same size. But this one has gotten shaded out by the beans, and so that's all that one has done. And this one is loving life. So really happy about this one. Yeah, so in this one I have the calla lilies, which I have kept and reused year after year. I have alyssum from the garden and these lovely purple petunias. I'm so happy with those this year. Back here we have golden balcony, so there's 2 tomatoes in there, and then an assortment of herbs down at the bottom, and possibly, what? Morning glory. Nope. They don't go morning glory in the vegetable patch. Here we have some peppers. I believe these are the big gins, which are in the kind of a Hatch or New Mexico 6 variety. So I've got one there, and this one has 2 big ones. They're huge. Look how big those are for the size of the plants. Crazy. And then here I have stevia and some other mystery peppers. And we have Dexter. Hi, buddy. Sniffing his plants out. This one is just petunias. So this is a tickled pink climbing petunia. So this is what your climbing petunia is supposed to be doing, Lisa. Get it outside. Get it in some sun. Then I have this container. We have some kohlrabi, some broccoli. I just transplanted that kale in there. It's not looking so hot. I have some amaranths just starting to sprout in there. And then this bean, which takes a bit of abuse from Dexter. I have a pepper plant. And this tomato plant here is called Gold Nugget, and it's absolutely delicious. We've only had one off of it, but there's another one up at the top of the hill. So sweet, absolutely delicious. In here we have some beans, and then I'm not even sure what everything in there is. I have some cilantro, amaranth. These are my petunias. And then over here we have some peppers as well. These I believe are the New Mexico 6, and then we have a amaranth weed. This is coming out, and green onions. And we got some beans. These purple beans are so pretty. I don't know if you can see them. There'll be more out in the garden to show you. Kind of hard to see right now. Chives are doing great. I keep cutting back on them so they look a little messy. And then the garden tower. This thing is amazing. These tomatoes have produced so many beautiful tomatoes. It's amazing. Dexter is in love with it. Where, Dex? Dexter loves his tomatoes. And of course she's not blooming right now. But this is my Heavenly Blue Morning Glory. And it's got tons of buds. So hopefully I'll get a nice picture of that soon while it's in bloom. And then this is the Tickled Pink Climbing Petunia that's going up on that side. My other hanging basket over here is doing just fine. So we have a couple of begonias in here. I have some old violas. They're probably getting past their prime. I gotta come in here and make sure I'm starting to save seed off of these. And then my pineapple mint, which smells amazing. And then I have this lovely pot of coleus. These are doing so well. I was tempted to move them out in the front yard, but I don't know. They're doing so well here. I hate to move them, but they're so pretty. The coleus, I started all of the coleus and violas from seed. Actually, I started almost everything from seed this year. Calla lilies, canna lily, and some. There's a petunia down there, and a nasturtium. And then back to this container garden, so we have stevia. This petunia is doing really, really well, but it's starting to get a little gangly, so we might get a little bit of a prune. More stevia, lots of cherry tomatoes, cinnamon basil is doing really well in here. Oh my gosh, how have I not seen these? I haven't been out here in like 2 days, so. Oh my goodness, Dexter. You need another one? You need another one? There you go. Yay! And then my giant metal pot has this beautiful canna lily. It's doing its job to kind of fill up cover the air conditioner. So this canna is doing really good, and we got some petunias in there. These all self-seeded. So I was growing violas last summer in this pot, and then this spring the plant inside in the middle had died. But I saw all these little sprouts, and I thought, what is coming up? Oh, we had a weed. There we go. And it was violas. So I'm going to be using these out in the front and replacing them in some of the baskets where the other ones have started to peter out a bit because they don't take this heat too well. And then my peppers. So these are the cayenne. These are my red bell peppers, and they are starting to get some size on them. Sorry, the pepper leaves are always in the way. Yeah, so these are my red bell peppers. They're getting some size on them. I have 3 of them here. These are my poblanos. I'm thinking of my anchos. I think I'm gonna have to harvest this one pretty soon. It's getting really dark. Absolutely beautiful. And then over here, I'm sorry I can't spin the cans because we have them strapped on so they don't fall off. They were getting a little wobbly in the wind, and I did not want to lose them. These are apparently my purple jalapenos, which I didn't know I had. And they start to go green, and then they go this bright red. So I'll be harvesting that. And then on that one, let me see. This is my red cherry. That's it. Red cherry from M.I. Gardner. And I've got here in Tomato Alley. They're doing pretty good. So this first one here is my pineapple tomato. It's made it to the railing. Second one up is Vintage Wine, and it's not quite to the railing yet, but that one I started quite a bit later. Sweetie is almost to the gazebo, so that's pretty cool. Sweetie is doing good, and Sweetie is putting out lots of fruit. It's not as sweet as I had anticipated due to the name Sweetie. It was quite like tomatoey, acidic. It was good. It just wasn't like that super sweet cherry tomato that I was expecting. And then this one, Bianca, this one said it was a cherry tomato, but those don't look like cherry tomatoes. So I don't know, so maybe they got mislabeled somehow. I don't know. And then this one is the Pink Tiger, and you can see like it's just a very, very different style. It's almost like a lace leaf tomato. It's just very, very delicate looking, but it's doing okay. Oh my gosh, look it! This is my Siam basil, and it's starting to get a flower bud. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the flowers on that. Marglobe is intermediate, has made it halfway, almost halfway to the gazebo. And then next up we have Old German. These ones here are all pretty much neck and neck. So Old German Candy Sweet. This is one I'm really, really excited to try. And it's just loaded with fruit. So I'm really excited for that to get ripe. Then we have Brandywine, Mortgage Lifter, Kentucky Beef Steak. I don't even know where some of these are. They're winding all around. Because my strings broke. So I will admit, you can see a few of them broke. I don't know what happened. I've been using this method with the strings for several years now. I never had an issue with it. So I think maybe it was just cheap string. We had a big windstorm came through and it snapped. So I'm going to be using some rope, I think, unfortunately, probably like the bright orange rope. So I wanted to get my tour in before you see all these like horrible bright orange strings. So yep, being kind of shallow here. And then my cucamelon. Cucamelon, I am trying to get to go up over the arbor, and it just keeps wanting to go and tangle itself up with the tomatoes. So that's not good. And this pot is doing really well. And look at this, my Jewels of Opar have 2 little pink buds on them. So this is going to be blooming very, very soon. And so in here I have a cucumber, I have a Melbar spinach, which is taking its sweet time doing anything, and my nasturtium. Here, I won't go into too much detail because I just released that video on Wednesday, but everything's doing really well. The tomatoes all transplanted very well, and we've got arugula coming up. Whatever I put in this one, spinach maybe? And the pak choi is coming up over here, so yay. Oh, and look I got some peas sprouting. Oh my goodness, they haven't sprouted for me before at all, and now they're sprouting. That's awesome. Okay, and then this container here has my loofah, and I don't know if it's not getting any bigger. I don't know. My Dollar Tree stackable planters, and this one, there's 3 stacks, all beans. These are the yellow beans, I believe. This is a giant dwarf tomato. This is supposed to be a dwarf tomato. This is Mary's cherry, and it is loaded with fruit, and it is a huge plant for being a dwarf tomato. And it's falling over. I don't know what's going on. Oh no, that's Sean. Okay, that's Sean. Sean is kind of falling over. I'm gonna have to stake it better into the container. So then what is this one? That's Sean's. I don't know what this one is. Oh, this is my kaleidoscope. Okay, so this is the kaleidoscope jewel. So we're already starting to get some interesting coloration on that. Interesting. There's my cucumber. Come on, baby. You can do it. I'll be happy if I get 1 cucumber this year. Nasturtiums in the front, another stack of beans. And then this tomato cage was just stuck here to keep Dexter from going through and trampling everything. And the beans have climbed on it, and the morning glory. So it's looking actually really good. Happy with that. Oh my god, I was zoomed in. Sorry about that. And then this container, after my issue last year with my onions not bulbing up at all, I cannot tell you how excited I am to have 3, and they're doing really good. So these are Walla Walla Sweet varieties, and I think I'm going to be harvesting them soon. I'm not exactly sure when I'm supposed to harvest them. It's the first year I've grown onions and actually had them do anything. So here is my okra. It's coming along. I have another Malabar spinach there. And then I have more morning glory taking over everything, which I love. I love morning glory. And I know it can be kind of obnoxious and invasive, but then I just rip it out. So then I have some forget-me-nots. So this section, actually both sections of my garden here and up at the top there, are mainly self-seeded. And so I didn't do a ton of planting in here because I just really wanted to see what everything was. And because of Dexter, I just didn't want to get overly worried and invested in putting a bunch of really, precious flowers in there and then getting them trampled. So this year was just kind of a bit of an experiment. Oh, and this huge thing here, I first mentioned, that is a self-seeded garden huckleberry, and it is like taking over the container, which I'm very happy about because I love those. This planter, I love these 2 tall planters. I put the cannas in them. So I have 3 of the red cannas. I have a yellow or coral canna, I can't remember exactly. I've got some of the tickle pink climbing petunias, and then amaranth and a little bit of pepper. This climbing petunia has a heavenly blue morning glory, and my butterfly pea vine, which is not. There it is. That's all the bigger it is. Yep, that's what she's doing. So I doubt we're going to see anything off of that one. And here, oh, my morning glories. These are so pretty. These have all self-seeded. I did not put any of these seeds in the ground, and I've been pulling hundreds of them out. But I absolutely love them. I love how they just, I don't know, they just ramble and take over and bloom. I've got a Cosmo. I had one, there's two Cosmos back there. One I planted, one self-seeded. So this, I love this lemon yellow canna lily. I expected it to be a lot taller than it is, but it's blooming, so it's happy. And these cannas are doing good. And here I have some celosia, which are not doing much of anything yet. So Sweet Williams are petering out, so it's time to cut them back and save the seed. I'm going to sprinkle some of the seed down because this whole mass of green here are Sweet Williams. So not all of them bloom this year because they're biennial, so that means they bloom the next year. So a lot of these, the shorter ones, will be all blooming next year. In the back I have my straw flowers. So these straw flowers here in the front, all self-seeded. I only planted 3 in the back. Then we have poppies, and then a little planter with some cannas. My Rebecca. So I lied when I said I hadn't had anything nibbling anything. Because apparently the only thing the bunnies or whatever have been nibbling are my Rebecca. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But they're doing all right. I've got a nice bloom off for this one. And then here, all of these snapdragons that are blooming, these all self-seeded themselves this year. I didn't plant any snapdragons at all this year. Dexter's lantana is doing just fine. He has left it alone. He has not tried to dig at it or bother it at all, which I'm still really shocked about. I have some sunflowers coming. I have zinnia coming. Over there in the corner, I have a self-seeded. That's my ground cherry. And of course, my ladies are looking lovely this morning. Hello, ladies. Canna, amaranth. In here, this is my gomphrena. Like, wah, wah, wah. I don't know if anyone else's gomphrena is doing more than that, but that's my gomphrena seeds from Baker Creek. I don't know. They're so tiny. And they're blooming. And they're cute, but they're so tiny. And then here we have the stalks, which have kind of petered out. I have a Gwem there. Gwem, I think it's called. It is a perennial, so I don't know if I'm going to see a bloom off of it this year or not. My one celosia that's blooming. And then this was all dianthus, so this was all blooming just a little bit ago, actually. I think I got a picture of that, maybe. So this section here, okay, so this is like my tomato graveyard. So this is where I kind of stuck the extra tomatoes that I was growing, and I've just kind of put extra plants up here, self-seeded snapdragons. Then I have some beans, some pepper plants. This is my chocolate Tasmanian pepper, green tomato. Step over. So this is the chocolate Tasmanian. This is the Werekai tomato. And this one is, I believe, the gold nugget, because it tasted like the gold nugget. And this one, ooh, we got a nice red one on here. I have no idea which one this is. So I'm hoping it's the same as this one, but the plant looks very different, so I don't think it is. And then my beautiful, beautiful birdhouse gourd. And she is just climbing. She's doing really, really well. And then we have our Gizmo statue. So this is in honor of Gizmo, who passed in the very beginning of the year, 2022. He was 16 years old, and he was our first pug, and he was an absolute delight. And so we have put this little monument up here to him with some petunias right next to the tomatoes, which he absolutely loves. So, hi Giz. And then this here, so I'm really hoping they take off and get nice and tall, give me a nice backdrop. You can see my garden huckleberries. Oh, but I can shade you out. Garden huckleberries are doing really good. Getting lots of berries on those, so that is exciting. I can't wait to make some more jam. Calendula is, I just came in and deadheaded a ton of it. It looks like I still need to deadhead more, but we'll get another flush blooms off of this. Here is my poor, oh my gosh, it's just like getting attacked by everything. Borage, it's like just, I put this stick in here to keep the calendula off of it, but the calendula is even more vigorous than borage. So all of this self-seeded. I only planted these calendula here. I grew from seed inside. There's 3 there. And 4 of the garden huckleberry. Everything else in here, including the amaranth, all self-seeded. And I did tuck in some of the sunflowers that are coming up. We have a few morning glories coming through here. And we have some goldenrod, looks like. And my dill's, all the dill self-seeded. I did pop in these cranberry hibiscus. This one's doing okay. That one is not. I might have to move that one. It needs more sun. It's got shaded out by how big the Shasta daisies got. So I planted the Shasta daisies, I want to say 2 years ago. And they never did anything. And they finally bloomed this year. So that's good. So here are lupins. I got to harvest the seed off of those. And what are you doing? Dex. We're rolling in something. Hopefully it's like a worm. I don't know what we're rolling in. That's gross. Here I have my kohlrabi, and it's alive, but it's just starting. Like, it's tiny still, right? Like, it's tiny. So I've got 2 kohlrabi, and this all needs to get watered, as you can see. My lovely planter here with my cannas. I have a lot of cannas this year because I had so many. So this all self-seeded. This is calendula, and oh, leave the bee alone. Yeah, we don't chase bees. And a couple of evening primroses self-seeded in throughout. My echinacea is doing fabulous this year. So pretty. So pretty. The Shasta daisy in there. And no, we're not playing attack mommy. Okay? My peony. Really? No. Oh, no. Hey. Up. No. Drop it. Thank you. Good boy. Okay, so now to the beans. Oh, look at these. They opened. My 4 o'clocks. Don't they know it's morning? Last year when I did 4 o'clocks as my plant of the week, it took me forever to try and get a picture of them open because they were never open at 4 o'clock. They're supposed to open at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I guess they're on a different time zone. So here are my 4 o'clocks. There's quite a few of them in here. They'll be getting bigger and bigger. And then I have my beans, which I've been harvesting quite a few off of these. Stop it. No. Oh, yeah, I've been harvesting quite a few beans off of here. There's some more in there that need harvesting. Oh, they're so pretty. Dexter, no. What? Okay, you're gonna eat that one? All right, you can have that bean. You want it? You can have it. Just take it and go some more. Yeah. Like it? Just bite it. Okay, go get it. Bells of Ireland are doing okay here. So these are the ones they've all self-seeded. So you can see I have more little seedlings over there. Got some sunflowers coming up, and I've reseeded in here, so I do have to make sure and water this really, really good. And then this planter is doing just fine. So we got a pepper in here, cannas, plant here. I'm going to stand in the shade. I'll shade you out. If this is too dark now, I don't know. This one here is called Leprechaun, and it is a dwarf tomato, and it is just fabulous looking tomatoes. Oh, sorry, Dex, I just sat on. But look at that. Like, they have these beautiful purple shoulders. I cannot see the screen at all, so hopefully I'm getting this in the shot. So I mentioned before that I planted a few things for my neighbor over here, so we're just going to go check them out. So this is her canna, and it is enormous. It's doing better than any of mine because it gets full sun right here against the fence. And then we've got a couple of pepper plants in there, some petunias and nasturtiums, so they're doing really, really well. That tomato plant has gone crazy. We're going to have to harvest that. Oh my gosh, look at that, Dex. That's doing really good, right? Okay, so in here, and this gets a lot of sun in the afternoon, so don't worry about that. So we have, I believe this is the golden balcony again, and it is loaded with tomatoes in there. Oh my goodness. I have this rickety stick system to keep it from toppling over, which seems to be working. We're going to be getting lots of coriander soon off of this cilantro that's bolting. And then I have broccoli. I don't know if broccoli's doing anything yet. Are you broccoliing up? Oh, look at that thing. Yeah, it looks like it's going to start broccoliing up. So we've got a few of those in here. And then this is where my watermelon ended up, and it's just crowded out. I'm going to have to move it. It's obviously not getting any sun here at all. But it never grew. Like, I planted, oh, it's got a flower. Oh my God, are you kidding me? That tiny thing has a flower on it. Like, when I planted it, these guys were really tiny, right? Like, these were just tiny, tiny. It's just not growing. I just don't think it was getting enough sun. And then now, I mean, it was getting enough sun. I just don't think it was getting enough heat. And then now that we're finally getting hotter weather, it's not getting any sun. I'm gonna have to move it. I have to move it, Dex. And then over here, same thing's happening. It's getting shaded out. My other butterfly pea is gonna have to go move somewhere else. We've got some amaranth. We've got some ornamental peppers. We got Dexter. And then we have another tomato plant here. Let me see. Oh, look at that. We got a ripe tomato on there, but it's split, unfortunately. But that's a beauty. I think this is also the Tasmanian. Chocolate Tasmanian. I thought it was Mary's cherry, but I don't think it is. Because these do not look like cherry tomatoes, and they look like the Tasmanian. So this one's loaded with fruit. This one's doing really, really well. And then over here I just transplanted some of the morning glory, and it seems to be doing pretty good. Hi. And then I forgot this little section here, so we come back around. So this is looking back at the deck here. My peony, I've got a few hostas down here, and then this planter, and I have some coleus tucked in. My radishes. They didn't do anything. I tucked more beans in there, but you can see they're sticking out through the ground, so I'm gonna have to stick those back in. And my planter, which is getting taken over by another morning glory, and I am totally fine with that. So that is where the garden stands. So that is where we stand right now with the garden. Everything's starting to fill in. It's doing really well. I think this extra heat, and we finally got some rain coming in. It's gonna really perk everything up, but things have been blooming. Things seem to be pretty happy. Dexter's happy. What are you eating? Something, always something with him. Anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye.